Welcome to the Puberty Prof podcast, where information and tools are shared to help you have conversations about puberty and other growing up topics. Here is your host, Lori Reichel, the Puberty Prof, a nationally recognized health educator, author of the award-winning book, Common Questions Children Ask About Puberty, and creator of the Talk Puberty app.
Hi, and welcome to the Puberty Prof podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Lori Reichel, the Puberty Prof. This short episode is to share 3 announcements. Yet first, thank you so much for listening to this podcast this past year or over the past 3 years. I truly have appreciated the positive support I have received from listeners and truly hope information is helpful to families and educators. Remember that we need to keep on learning, including learning updated information and effective skills for talking with one another about real-life topics, including puberty. I also thank each guest who shared their wisdom within many episodes. I believe doing this podcast, The Puberty Prof, created many positive connections that continue to today. Now let me share the 3 announcements. As I noted this past August, the Puberty Prof podcast is finalizing its almost weekly journey through puberty and other changes that young people experience. This journey is finalizing this December. What this means is that previously recorded episodes will continue to be available, including on my website titled The Puberty Prof or LoriReichel.com. I also hope to drop, I don't know if that's what you call it, but I'm going to call it that. I hope to drop occasional episodes to provide additional information when possible in the future. So there'll be an occasional, I hope, episode here or there over the next years, which leads me to my next announcement. As of this January 2024, I am transitioning to a new podcast. This new podcast is titled School Health Educators and will begin to be released at some point in January. So if you like the Puberty Prof podcast, please consider listening to the next one titled School Health Educators with your host, me, the Puberty Prof, Lori Reichel. And this podcast will be available on all typical podcast platforms. My third announcement is that all of the communication tools I have created and spoken about on many episodes continue to be available. This includes the Talk Puberty app, which so many people love to use with their children to help start and continue conversations about puberty. My award-winning book, Common Questions Children Ask About Puberty, is also available. This book has over 500 questions children have asked me during my career, in which, in addition to the questions, age-appropriate, child-friendly answers are provided. And over 50 discussion card questions are provided in the back of the book. So you can copy those on cardstock and use them within to have discussions at the table on a variety of growing up topics. And as I noted earlier, previously recorded episodes of the Puberty Prof podcast will continue to be available, including on my website titled pubertyprof.com or LoriReichel.com. And I hope to drop occasional episodes to provide additional information when possible. So again, thank you for listening in to the Puberty Prof podcast. I have learned so much from this experience and appreciate your support. And keep an ear out for the podcast I'm transitioning to titled School Health Educators, expected to be released in January of 2024. And remember, you can always reach out to me at pubertyprof@gmail.com if you have any questions or want me to lead some kind of family or school workshop on the topic of puberty or other sexuality topics. That email again is pubertyprof@gmail.com. Or go to my website, Lori Reichel, REICHEL.com. In the meantime, stay well, and I hope you have a happy and healthy day.
Thank you for listening to the Puberty Prof podcast, where information and tools are shared to help you have conversations about puberty and other growing up topics. Did you enjoy this episode? Please like, share, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also follow the Puberty Prof on Twitter or Instagram. The Puberty Prof, Lori Reichel, wants to hear from you. Go to pubertyprof.com or click on the link in this episode's description. There you can find more information, as well as ask questions to be answered by the Puberty Prof in a future episode. That's pubertyprof.com. Also, remember to check out the Talk Puberty app and the book, Common Questions Children Ask About Puberty. Until next time, this is the Puberty Prof podcast, where information and tools are shared to help you have conversations about puberty and other growing up topics.